I began tonight's episode by wishing well the friends that I knew back then. When they recruited me to this mission, I had been recovering from a pretty serious injury, and was therefore stationed at something that was quite a bit beneath my expertise. I was there protecting a young girl, maybe in her 20s. She was not well in the mind, but she had agreed to our protection so long as it was tasteful. We're always hesitant when it comes to protection of the mentally unwell. We never want to overstep our bounds. Still, an old friend of mine, we'll refer to her here by the name Fury, was having quite a bit of trouble freeing a large settlement or city from their oppressor, who treated them all as playthings. Now, while her fire could rain from the skies, she was rather keen on not burning alive all the innocent humans in her path. She knew a few, but I knew more. So upon hearing the request, I asked the girl if she would mind if another friend of mine took my place until I could return. And so I met with Blue, a young soldier who was used to defense. We met out in the woods, down the road, at a three-pronged crossroad. Blue would hold my stead, look after the girl, until the mission was completed, and I could return. The girl was kind. She promised to make paper flowers for me until I came back. And so Blue and I swapped places, and I began my descent through time to reach the village where Fury was making her stand. The abuser was a man, maybe in his 20s or 30s, but he acted like a child. He wasn't literate. He barely knew words. There was no chance of ending this peacefully, and it would be a pleasure to rid the earth of him. When I through the mortal realm, there are easy ways to invite the others on the same hunt. And so we traveled through the wilderness down there, picking up more as we went along, chirping and laughing the plans ahead of us. It was quite a far journey, but to be honest, the time flew by, as nature out there was beautiful and raw. The city was at the base of a volcano, although many of the structures led all the way up the mountain and down into its depths. We were only meant to circle. Fury herself would draw power from the magma, from the people, but only according to their wishes. She was summoned. She was there for a purpose. It was their prayers who would guide her. It is important when summoning to have clear intent and who the target is, and why you wish them dead. We are only angels. We are only demons. We don't know the world like you do. Your prayers guide us like the magnetic fields that compasses listen to. We are just there to bring destruction. You are the ones who are wishing it so. Anything that would stand in Fury's way, anything that would try to siphon off of her instead of feed her fire, was a target for us. Just another meal. In fact, most of the job was just being able to watch as she fought, as she clawed, and as the enemy fell. An enemy like this had been feasting off the people, fueling his own power, making himself strong and them weak. Ultimately, and though to us he seemed quite a small meal, had he been allowed to continue, I'm almost certain that he would have been used as a tool for his army. If you don't know, suffice it to say he's grown quite a bit since the we once feared. Everyone wants to believe in redemption. And half the reason that he was ever so powerful is because he was so likable. He wasn't bad to women. He was just bad to everyone. But he was funny. He was personable to us. And before Earth, we all came from the same hell, and before that, the same heaven. But this isn't about him and how far he's come as one of us. It's about his pathetic backstory and the tantrums he threw. And the toys that we had to break before he turned them into weapons. More importantly, it's about the people Fury was set to save. There's nothing more important to us than life on Earth, specifically the human race. When we talk about mankind, when we talk about the humankind, you have to understand that your uniqueness is something to us. Were we to let one people fall, the great whole of human civilization would be lessened in our eyes. So even in this case, with a civilization that was likely to never be seen again through natural disaster, not one of us would just stand by and let them fall. And so it was that we got to see the greatness that is Fury rise up, dismantle what would have been a terrible regime, and decimate the man who did what he could to loom over them. As injured as I was, it was a kindness to have been there, to remember the fight and what we do. From my perspective, it was the last time I had seen Fury. Although from her perspective, we had met quite a few times after that. As always, I wish them well. Now, I must be honest, no mission is complete without a token. Something to add to the chain. Something to remember my time on Earth by. Except this time, I had someone to go back to. So I requested a duplicate. One to add to my chain, and one for the girl. Carved into the shape of a wolf's fang, engraved with the language of the people. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Feel free to join us next time, and as always, check out the membership options while you're here. Stay brilliant.